Okay, I am recording.
Going on.
Not too much, bro. By the way, congratulations from finally graduating.
Yeah, thank you. It's been definitely a long road.
No kidding.
Uh, Try to get that done. But yeah, and congratulations to you for getting your life back in order and your life together after divorce. Like really, like I think we're both standing on top of a mountain at this point.
Yeah, well, I still got a bit ways to go on mine, but
Oh, same here. We still have to do
but the
practicums.
the light is at the end of that tunnel. But other than that, yeah, man. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned the gaming though, because I had to go get a new Steam account after not
Ooh,
having to use Steam in years. I finally had to go back and get one because the new the new GOG Galaxy update.
right.
They're like the competitor to Steam. I don't know if you know them or not.
No, I don't.
No, they're one of the lower ones, but still a pretty good thing. But their new update has made it pretty much unusable. Like none of my games will auto update anymore. I've got to go in and manually download updates. It's turned into a pain in the arse.
Yeah, that reminds me. I got to re-download Steam since I'm not going to be using anything from Texas Instruments. But wait a second. Do I still need? I still have Matter controller on my computer.
That's fine. That's free to use software, bro.
Yeah, but it's free to use. I'm just concerned about the space.
It's not that big.
Steam?
I think. Oh, Steam.
Yeah.
Steam's not that big itself. It's the games that you download that are big.
Yeah, I'll just have to
Like to
be
be
selective.
like, what was it? What was it? I got Shogun 2 was free for download. Shogun Total War 2.
That was a fun game.
Yeah, that was free to download there for about 2 full weeks. So I grabbed that up, and then I went and picked up CNC 3
Yeah.
and the expansion pack for dirt cheap. I think I paid $9 for those. It wasn't too bad. They were on for like 80% off. It was pretty good. And then I finally broke and went and got Battlefleet Gothic Armada.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
How is
that
it?
40K naval commanding game.
Yeah, I've seen a lot more 40K games on the shelves for the Xbox and PlayStation. And I thought that was kind of like what was the Inquisitor?
Yeah,
I'm
Inquisitor
way out
Martyr.
of yeah. Sorry if I'm way out of touch with some of the video games. I've
Oh no, it's
been
all good, man. It's all
my
good.
head's been in the academic clouds.
It's all good, bro. No, man. I've been having a well, just because of everything's gone on the last little while, I've been getting back into gaming. But no, it was no. There's quite a few Warhammer games out there. I think there's something like 20 or 30 Warhammer games
Jeez.
in total. But most of them are junk. Some of them are good.
I
Like Dawn of War 3 absolutely
oh
tanked. That was the biggest letdown ever.
I know I never really heard too much good about it. I remember the cinematics being pretty good, but I never
Yep.
heard anything
That
good
was
about the
all that was
gameplay.
about it. That was the only good thing going for it was the cinematics were decent and they weren't even that great.
Yeah, I know. Like I remember all the other Dawn of Wars and like the first Dawn of War that I had for my old compact. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That thing was having a fun time running that game. Um, but it was fun. It was fun. But the moment I turned up the resolution, you'd see like I could probably start cooking food on the processor at that point.
Yeah, like I've got everything amped right out on Battlefield, and it's not even chugging my processor.
Which Battlefield?
No Battlefleet, sorry.
Oh, Battlefield. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah. Fuck. Man. Speaking of when you mentioned Battlefield, there, we actually pirated Battlefield 1942 in Kandahar, and everyone in our platoon was playing like AI. Sorry, was playing against AI, and anyway,
yeah,
it ended up being fun. That's when we found out that the trackball mice, those
yeah.
goofy looking mice, they are great for flying the planes in those games. Like if you're like El Cheapo and don't want to buy like a joystick or anything, get one of these little trackballs for $20 and they work. Yeah, it was just fun to hear. Yeah, every now and then when you hear the occasional rocket attack or the siren go off, and everyone's looking around, it's like, well, we're not getting shot at, so fuck it.
Yep.
Game
By
away.
the end of our tour, man, we were in the secure area compound.
Yeah.
I think we were getting our leave passes and whatnot, and tour gifts and all that jazz, right?
Yeah.
So at that point, we are completely worn the fuck out on this place.
It's not giving a fuck. If it's gonna
A fucking
kill us,
rocket
kill
comes
us
in, like a rocket. Like we heard the bang and the whiz of the rocket, and we're just like listening. So like, yeah, it's nowhere near us. So we just keep on doing what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
And this fucking major comes flying out of nowhere.
Oh, he's probably
like, what the fuck are you doing out here still? There's a rocket attack going on. Get into the bunkers now. Move it. It's like, seriously, bro? It's like that rocket attack was 2 minutes ago and it didn't land nowhere near us.
It's always one rocket. So it's not like they fire in volleys.
Yeah, it's not exactly like they've got a couple of Stalin's organs hanging out at the edge of Kandahar airfield lobbing that crap at us.
Yeah, no, it's not Stalin's
It's some
organs.
backwoods goat fucker, stacking it up on a giant pile of rocks, hoping that he's maybe aimed in the right direction.
I made the joke. I think I made the joke when I was admin NCO for a gunner's course. Over there it was like stormtroopers versus Ewoks.
But that Stormtrooper versus Ewok fight was pretty one-sided in favor of the Ewoks, man.
Yeah, that's because it was propaganda for the rebels.
Filthy rebels.
Oh, goddamn commies.
Fuck the rebels, and the Jedi were goddamn religious extremists.
Yeah, I know. Fucking goddamn space jihadis.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. Jihadi, Jedi?
Yeah, I know, right? Really gets the old noggin jogging.
I'm sure there's a lot of nerds out there not going to like that comment.
Oh, God, hell no. Lord in heaven, no.
And this is coming from a Star Wars fan, too. I mean, but sometimes the fans just turn me off the subject material.
No, man, I'm like a cursory fan of like maybe the original trilogy. I didn't mind it. It was fun. It was stupid, but it was fun. And then
I enjoyed the space battles a lot more than I did the whole Jedi mind stuff that everyone loved. Because the space battles had vehicles, there was science. There was some pseudoscience involved.
Yeah, I always cheered for the Empire anyway.
Yeah, they had cooler gear.
Well, yeah, it's like, well, come on. It's like the rebels are clearly breaking galactic law.
And to be honest, the Empire didn't have mechs. They had AT-ATs, ATSTs.
Yeah, if you had mechs designed by a 5-year-old, the Empire certainly had them.
Yeah,
let's face it. At least in 40K, the mechs look right cool, despite the fact that they're giant walking churches.
I fucking I love the mechs in that game.
I know.
I love it. They just.
In Soviet Russia, church comes to you.
Oh man, could you imagine being an engineer in that church?
Oh Lord in heaven, no.
Yeah, the organ grinder is literally an organ grinder.
Yeah. Well, if it's a chaos Titan, then sure. One second here. I'll share the one picture I got. It's actually pretty badass. If I can find it here. Where is it? God, I am just terrible at this. I haven't done this in such a long time, man. Posted a new video today.
Oh, about the OPA?
No, I posted that one a couple days ago. But no, I posted one about this whole gun ban thing, man.
Oh, I gotta watch that. That's this gun ban. I own an AR-15, and I've taught so many people, like including kids. I did community work with the EPS Cadet Corps up here in Edmonton with another friend of mine, and we use those. Oh my God, that's huge.
There's the walking church.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can live in that thing. Like,
Well,
you
it
can have
holds 200 Space Marines,
Jesus. And how much admin guys does it take to fucking run a
piloted by what's it? There's the Princeps Majoris, and then I believe 5 Moderati, and a couple of tech priests.
pretty decent. But yeah, back to the AR-15. 15. Like I've used that to help people get over gun shyness because it's so easy to shoot.
Yeah.
14-year-olds are firing it. I've taught people easily how to use it. People who have been completely biased on firearms because they were either too big, too scared, they were never had the opportunity to fire one. And the wonderful thing about this platform is that I can set it up for whatever discipline that shooter is, sports shooter, recreational. I mean, I know we can't hunt with it in Canada, but you can set it up for that too if I was allowed.
Yeah.
It works because it does come in hunting calibers.
I know it. Here's the thing, like that I think I brought up in the video, or I might have edited it out. Basically, I was having boomer audio issues all morning while trying to record the issue. Like I was getting like double echo, and one half of it, my microphone just muted out without me knowing. Like I was having boomer, like, so I had 5 hours of footage in total over the course of 3 days of recording, and I picked out like 10 minutes of actual viable audio and video.
That sucks.
I know, I was so pissed. Like it was supposed to be a long form video, about 20 minutes.
Oh, man.
But I had so many audio issues, I could only get 10, I think 12 minutes worth of total good audio. But what I boiled it down to, what I think I brought it up at one of the points, was that soldiers returning from combat often, you know, when they return to civilian life, prefer to use the firearm that they trained with. Yeah. Like World War I and World War II was the Lee Enfield. So those things were all over the place. The original assault rifle.
Yeah, 10 rounds, and don't forget about the mad minute training for the Hun.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm not sure. I think my musket might actually be prohibited.
Oh, because of the energy?
Not just because of the energy, but because of the bore size. My musket.
Oh, yeah, yours is. Well, by the way, what is it? Since
That's 76.
76 caliber?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Wait. That's inches. So what's that in millimeters?
I believe it's bigger than 20 mil.
Fuck. I'm going to bring up the old calculator to convert that.
You know what else that freaking makes illegal? A blunderbuss.
You mean I can't own my cannon anymore? Oh, wait, is cannon
legally no. Anything with a bore over 20 millimeters.
So I cannot own a cannon?
No.
I'm sad.
I don't even think I can own my musket now. I'm going to have to pull out the calipers and get a measurement on that.
This is so stupid. I mean, like even if you're for a gun ban or anything like this, but just the way they pulled this was just so underhanded.
I know, and here's the kicker: like some of these rules are just so ridiculous that they wouldn't apply to a criminally owned gun in any stretch of the imagination. Like, when's the last time you heard of anyone holding up a liquor store or robbing a place with something like a 20 millimeter? You ever seen a criminal use a 50 caliber to commit a crime ever? Because these guns are so expensive.
Yes, and
the people who own them aren't gonna let them go easy.
No, okay, so there's a website. I'll see if I can try to find it later. Or not, or now, doesn't matter. But it states that civilian. This is a U.S. website that states civilian prices of fully automatic weapons that you can own.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like, if you want to own a fully automatic AR-15 that's been converted, either regulated or unregulated, there is a price difference. I'm not sure, but it was somewhere upward between $10,000 to $20,000 to get a full automatic conversion. A
Yeah.
criminal is not going to shell out that kind of money for a paper trail to get done on a weapon like that.
Yeah. And anyone who owns it is going to have that thing in enough security to make sure it ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, it goes to the range, and that's all they're going to be doing is shooting it at a range and make expensive noise.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, when it comes down to it, it's all civilians are going to be using their guns for is just expensive noise.
Yeah. And here's the kicker. They're like, oh, well, now that they've changed the terminology from assault weapons, because
The
they got
military.
BTFO'd on that, to assault style. So now they can say if it looks scary, we can ban it.
But Sam,
They can go ahead.
this is where emotions and logic separate, because you're basing something off an emotional feeling, not anything logical. That's where it gets scary. That's where like government should like be hardlined, not to have emotion running their platform.
I don't know, man. Like for me, when it comes to the government, they shouldn't be banning this shit, man, because
No, they
you're
shouldn't.
literally banning, like, did they ban vans after that guy in Toronto there ran all those people over with the van apiece?
No.
Oh, no, it sure didn't.
Nope.
Did they ban cooking pots after the Boston was it the
The
Boston
Boston
Marathon
bomb.
massacre?
Yeah, the Boston bombing.
Yeah. Like, no, they didn't. Like,
It
and on top of that, this guy was already dressed like a cop with full intention of like carrying out something like this. Do you think any gun ban would have stopped him from doing it when he already got his guns illegally?
and he used also a confiscated officer's gun that
Yep.
he took off that.
That's why they're not saying where the guns came from. The one gun that they could trace to Canada. That's why they're not saying where it came from, because it was the cop's gun.
Yeah, it was.
And here's the kicker, man. From what I understand, the RCMP dropped the ball so hard on that it wasn't even funny. They didn't get the warning out.
No, they used
They
Twitter. They
shot
used
up the
fucking
wrong building,
Twitter.
apparently.
What?
They shot up the wrong building. The guy wasn't even in that building, and they shot it up.
Okay, here's the question: How much power does the RCMP or does the government have over the RCMP versus the military?
Probably a lot more,
Yeah, over the
because
RC.
the RCMP is charged with civilian policing, and one's charged for dealing with shit inside, and one's charged with dealing with for shit to the outside.
Yeah, but like if with the military would never be you never see the military any military.
Military doesn't have the power, can't be given the power of arrest.
Okay.
As far as I know, the military cannot be given the power of arrest. Like
Yeah.
like during like all that G7 or whatever it is, that's why they had to embed police with us, is it not? Same at the Olympics. They had to embed the police with us because we don't have the powers of arrest.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No, it just seems like it just seems that our federal police are a little bit underfunded. Well, I mean, we do give away a lot of money away to.
It's not that they're under. It's
everyone.
not just that they're underfunded, man. That they've got politicians in charge of it. Like, you've got people who are in there for their golden paychecks that are beholden to their politician masters. That's what scares me about it, man. Is like it's politicians in charge of the RCMP instead of, actual cops, and that the cops that they do bring in to give themselves any sort of credence fall right in line with their ideological thinking. Like,
And
was
it
it
just
Bill Blair there is so anti-gun that it's not even funny. So of course they brought him as public safety minister. Oh, he's the he's an ex-cop. He's got plenty of experience in this. But yeah, but he's an outlier, but he's only with you because he's ideologically the same as you.
Yeah.
If you had any like interest in being fair, you would have someone who's impartial on the matter, but knowledgeable. You wouldn't have an ex-police officer. You would have, I don't know, perhaps someone who's actually like reasonably versed in firearms.
A historian, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not, I wouldn't say historian, but like someone with like a larger background, someone with a larger background of like the knowledges of what firearms can do and what firearms can't do.
Yeah. Like as far as I've seen, the government has taken all of their cues from what they've seen in TV.
Yeah.
That honestly, it's where they seem to have educated themselves is what they've seen on TV. I haven't seen an actual evidence pieced, like
And okay, and
any
here's
sort of evidence whatsoever that supports this ban would make any difference whatsoever.
no, and I agree. And you know what? It seems like they have only targeted one specific scary gun, and that's the AR-15 or military-ish style looking guns.
Yeah. I'd like
Conventional
you to
style.
point out one army on the planet that uses an AR-15. Please. Point out one army on any planet that uses any of the guns on this ban list. None of them are used by a military.
No,
These are
no.
civilian variants
Yes,
of a highly
everyone.
customizable firearm.
And you
That's
know what?
it.
They're all a majority of them are also better quality than some military variants too.
Yeah, that's actually kind of true.
Yeah.
I think I pointed out in that video of mine there that the term military grade, if anyone knows anything about the actual military grade hardware
Lowest
we get,
bidder, baby.
yeah,
Lowest bidder.
lowest bidder trash.
That's
How many
how.
times
That's
have
how.
I gotten? How many times have I got my C7 and it just rattles in my hand?
Oh man, like I had what was it during my my infantry DP1 reserve? Yeah, I know, fucking the most show here.
Yeah.
Before I got brave and became Reg Force. Um, but yeah, no, I broke three C781s. Yeah, with a fixed stock because the internals decided to rattle apart on me
Nice.
on a range to get qualified. Three of the goddamn guns were fucking malfunctioning. Um, they just gave them to me the day of.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad. Um, but no, you're absolutely right. But here's I have a question for you. Look up and can you identify if any of the weapons on this list, firearms on this list, um, are bullpups? Are any one of them a bullpup? Is like obviously the IWI Tavor is not on the list. Is the Keltec RFB on there? The FN FS 2000?
I believe they actually are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they counted bullpups.
I believe so. Let me just take a quick check here. DuckDuckGo. Canadian. My mechanical keyboard is clacking away. Just bringing up the gun blog. They've got usually a pretty good list. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and kudos to all the
So right
guys.
off the hops, they're on the bill for 124,755 of just the most popular firearms. They're on the hook for 125,000 firearms, more or less.
Okay.
Muzzle energy exceeding 50 or 10,000 joules, e.g., 50 BMG. Caliber exceeding 20 millimeter. I think my musket might actually be prohibited.
Oh fuck.
A fucking musket. Can you believe that?
Man, I don't know what to say.
What bugs me the most about this, man, is the fact that just without any sort of democratic process whatsoever, literally just arbitrarily banned property, like personal property, legally owned property, with
And it's
no
gone.
attempt to compensate, even though that like they shouldn't be confiscating property, period.
Right. I have a question. Do you think that anyone else in Parliament is going to fight this? I mean, like obviously we have private organizations around Canada trying to fight this, but do you think that it's not going to go? That nothing is going to get done because the Trudeau guy? Because every time they've done
No,
something like this.
as far as I'm concerned, the way Trudeau's behaved during this whole BS crisis, he's pretty much done his party in. Like their approval rating is tanking. Like, because not only is he just done this, which is a very, very
Negative
big.
view.
Well, no, he just pissed off the single largest voting bloc in Canada. firearms owners are literally the single largest single issue voting bloc in all of Canadian
Yeah.
politics. And he
We
managed
also,
to just unify all of them, especially given the fact that all of those FUDs this morning just had a heart attack when they found out their shotguns are banned too.
yeah. Oh yeah. It was like obviously all the they didn't care about the black rifle guys. They
Yeah,
don't care
no, it
about,
wasn't until like they found out their shotguns were on the chopping block that they're just like, oh no, this is
oh,
terrible.
and a Weatherby Mark V. That fucking like I seen that rifle. Those are nice. Those are like
Yeah, that's like a $12,000 rifle.
yeah.
Those things shoot $40 bills. Like, you ever see what a box of freaking 416 Weatherby costs?
Weatherby makes the best. Well, I can't say they're Wildcat, but they're
Yeah,
proprietary cartridges I've ever seen.
yep. That's the kicker, man. Like, that thing is now illegal in Canada, and it's a single shot rifle.
It's a single shot rifle used for taking down big game. Like, I mean, yeah, I guess you could use that for elk. You could probably use that and you can use that for moose.
Yeah, and here's the kicker,
Be a
man.
bit big for deer.
Now that all these are banned, how long before they turn around and say, "Oh, that
1022 is gone.
that rifle you got with that nice big scope on it. Oh, you can kill someone farther away than they can see." You know, it's like, you don't need that. That's a big, powerful sniper rifle.
Yeah. They start judging things by looks. I mean, like, oh, that looks like something from Call of Duty. I think you could kill someone with that.
I bet you 338 Lapua Mag is now banned.
Oh yeah.
Because if I'm not mistaken, 338 LM comes out of the barrel with more muzzle energy than a 50.
I was waving at Stace.
I know.
She's just creeping by. But no, it's stupid. I remember like your Savage 110.
Yeah, that was 338 Lapua Magnum. And
that was a fun gun to shoot.
Yeah, that thing popped out, if I'm not mistaken, with about 12,000 joules of energy out the barrel.
Yeah. Actually, I brought my AR-15 up earlier. I was training with it, but if you want, I can bring it on the screen if that's it. But it's up to you.
That's up to you, man.
I really don't care because I'm very proud to own the thing. It's actually, I just want to say how good of a rifle, how handy a rifle that is for a lot of people.
Well, that's just it, man. That thing is literally, it's the Honda Civic of freaking guns.
Right.
It's the Honda Civic of guns. It's not overpowered. It's not high powered. It's just infinitely customizable.
Okay, how about this? Next time we do one of these videos again, I'll set up the camera a bit. I'll show you what I can do because I have two upper receivers for it. One is a shorter barrel for just range play, and the other one's a longer barrel for just shooting at doing PRS style shooting at ranges. For like the farthest we've gotten this thing with the 28 with the 20-inch barrel. Is 800 meters. So I went from like a little short carbine to a longer range gun
to a full on like designated marksman rifle.
Yeah, it's actually I call it I call it an SPR or special purpose rifle or sporting purpose rifle, whatever the heck you want to call it. But I mean, like I brought it to the range, took one new shooter with me with just that gun alone and a Freedom bucket. Yeah, she was ringing steel all day at 100. She was having fun, and especially if you have disabilities, and you can't hold a traditional stock, these guns are perfect for it. But don't take my word. I'm just a criminal.
Yeah, this is all BS, man. Like the fact that not only did they just ban private property, they've just destroyed a $20 billion industry in Canada.
Is it 20 billion in Canada? I thought it was 8 billion.
I thought it was 20 billion. I might be wrong on it, but it's still a multi-billion-dollar industry in Canada. It's a big deal.
It's a lot of money.
There's a lot of money in it. And like, how many friends do we know now whose careers are ruined by this?
A lot. Like one of the local gun shops that I support, they decked out my AR-15 from day one.
Tier 1, man.
Yeah, tier 1.
Tier 1 there, man. Those guys are gonna this is gonna kill all the small gun owners. Like, this is gonna kill all those small businesses in one shot.
Yeah, custom rifle companies like EM Precision, KNS Arms, and a lot of the other boys, and a lot of those other boys that I've known.
Yeah.
Like a lot of those guys, like they reduce net. They have to reduce their product line. Um, Steve from EM Precision, he's famous for hosting extreme long range shooting. Like we're talking 2 kilometers.
Yeah, and how long before they ban that? Because
Oh
no,
no, it's already banned because of the muzzle energy.
oh shit, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
Because because why should a civilian have that level of energy? Do they have any idea how much skill, training, time, effort, and energy goes into being able to make a shot like that?
a
Of
lot. It's
course
not
not.
easy. It's not
A lot
easy.
of these guys devoted their lives to this, and they've just destroyed it. Oh well.
Didn't I mean, I mean, I don't want to sound like Joe Rogan quoting anything from Joe Rogan. Um,
Why not? Joe Rogan's pretty awesome.
he is. I would like to actually get. I'd actually like to sit down and talk with the man one of these days. Um, get his point of view on a few things.
Well, you're only a head taller than him.
A head taller. Oh yeah, he'll.
He's 5'7", man. Joe Rogan's tiny.
Don't tell him that. He'll probably get pissed. Little guy syndrome.
Yeah, well, shit, he's been doing MMA since what, like way back in the day.
Yeah, but he's also a big fan of the Japanese culture too. But I want to, but I'm just curious. I'm like, he's very big into this that samurai thinking.
Yeah.
Um, but I wonder what ended that sort of thinking in Japan, or if it did carry on, because you've seen an entire culture like that go like just I don't know if it got washed away or it got revisioned over time. But do you think? But I know. But as for us as being, I mean, I'm not saying that gun owners are all samurais, but but as like owners of firearms, like like what's going to happen to us? Like what are
Man,
we supposed to do
what's
now?
happening to us is what's happening to everyone slowly, man. It's like everyone's getting their rights taken away. It's like this pandemic has just been the perfect opportunity for all these authoritarians to unmask themselves entirely.
Yep.
It's like, okay, yeah, no, your God-given right to freaking protest, defend yourself, earn a living, do whatever, like your freedom is straight up gone.
Man, I've never.
And like they've stamped on everything. Like it's ridiculous. Like
No, no. Here's a question as a veteran too. Ever since this government's gotten in, I've actually felt less and less patriotic toward this country, and I've kind of regretted my service a few times just by the way that this government's kind of portraying the country. Have you actually? Have you ever had that feeling before?
man, when I see the absolute
Like
partisan
this?
divide that exists in Canada, like there's a very real east-west divide in Canada,
Oh yeah.
and I think it's getting to a point where you're gonna like Canada's literally probably gonna have to break in half because
I
it's literally getting to a point where it's the partisan divide is so great. Like you've got the basically, I don't want to say America light in the West, but for all intents and purposes, it's pretty much America light, right? Like, let's face it, the West is like the true last area that really tried to build itself up, man. Like, farmers and rural people are a tough, proud people, right?
yeah.
They
We
don't like
still
being, and they don't certainly don't like being talked to down by the city folk all out in the East, especially the you know small, apparently extraordinarily small area, at least geographically, that gets to decide every election in
right.
comparison to the West. So
Like
I think within the next little while, man, you're gonna see I think if Trudeau gets another term, the independence movement in the West is actually gonna break Canada apart. And at that point,
you think Trudeau again and again?
I hope not. If he does, Canada's done. The man has done more. Honestly, man, I am 36 years old. I have never seen Canada this divided in my entire life. And like, I grew up with that freaking Quebec independence vote. Like, I think you were old enough for that to remember that too, aren't you? That was early 90s. I think it was 94.
I was still in elementary school, but I may have. I may have heard it from my parents, but where I grew up from was very isolated in a lot of ways. And
Hmm.
my parents are pretty simple too. So
Like I grew up on farm, like in the farm in the rural country my entire life. Like I didn't live in a city until I was Jesus 17 or 18 years old, and by
well,
that time I still had that, like, I wouldn't don't want to say backwoods mentality about me, but I had that rural thinking, like that very rural, like do it yourself, like self-sufficient attitude.
yeah, yeah, small industrial towns too were like some of
Yeah.
the working class people were good, but then you had the people that were like absolute lazy. This is where the NDP started like building their roots from, was these working classes, and then it just got worse from
Yeah,
there.
no, they let in all the left-wing ideologues. And I think that's where a lot of my like my, I guess you'd call it my anti-patriotic tendencies, they stem towards these ideologues being constantly voted in.
Yeah,
Like I just would like to see an honest, hardworking politician who actually presents me real solutions on issues, not 30-second sound bites and feel-good measures.
yeah.
Like with this crap that's going on with the firearms, a real prime minister after that incident, instead of coming after illegal firearms owners, would have made
Start,
it illegal for for the RCMP to sell surplus equipment.
yeah,
That would have made a real change or a real difference. If psychos can't get their hands on stuff to camouflage themselves against what their intent is, like what's the difference between that shooter that happened in Nova Scotia, or was it New Brunswick a few years ago there, and
oh,
then
the one who shot the four, yeah, was it 4 or 3 police officers?
three or four police officers, and the one now. All right, the
Yeah,
one now is wearing a firearm. That's why he was able to carry on for 13 hours. He looked just like the police.
yeah.
That's the only reason he was allowed to carry on. And the other guy, I can't remember his name, and I refused, quite frankly, to learn it.
Yeah, no,
But
because isn't he in jail now, or is he dead?
I could care less if he's rotting
Yeah.
dead in a ditch somewhere.
Oh
But
well, yeah,
he
he's a piece of
wasn't
shit
trying.
anyway.
He was rocked out in his best,
Fucking
wish.com militia gear,
yeah, he tried.
and then he got tuned up.
Oh, did he ever? Like even like people, like he wasn't shooting at anyone else. He was specifically targeting police. Like he
Yeah.
ran, like people were videotaping him while he was running past them. Um,
So like,
it's
uh,
like,
but here's the problem though. All of these shootings, they seem to happen out east in the most liberal areas. So
right?
I don't know. Is there
I
something? Is there something going on in the drinking water out there?
no, I hope not. I haven't drank fucking East Coast water since last time I was out there, and even though I usually take the beer.
No, man. Like that whole never let a good crisis go to waste. They took that to like the nth degree here, and somehow managed to actually simultaneously piss off probably about 2 or 3 million people.
100%. It's 100%. And how does the U.S. Does there anything come from the U.S. about
Oh
this?
yeah, man. Sticks Hexenhammer basically repudiated the absolute living shit out of Trudeau this morning. I'll send you a link to his video later.
Good. I kind of want to see
But he
it.
basically says, more or less, like, Trudeau's an illiterate moron.
He is.
I think he actually makes fun of the blackface too.
Yeah. Did you see that meme with the Ruger 1022 and
Yep,
the
I
different
saw
and
that, man.
yeah, and the
That's
difference?
pretty priceless.
That's actually pretty good. It's still a 1022. Oh, look, it's still a piece of shit.
Yeah,
I mean, not the 1022. 1022 is an amazing rifle. I'm talking about what
yeah,
it was compared to.
yeah. No, God, I can't believe they actually fucking banned that, the 1022.
Oh, so okay, I have an AR-15, so that's banned. I have a 1022. Remington 870, is that banned?
You got the 1022 takedown, didn't you?
No, I didn't get the takedown.
Oh, you just got the stainless.
Yeah, stainless, and I put it on hunter stock.
Okay.
Hunter stock with a Vortex Diamondback on top. It's a good rifle.
Yeah.
It's a good setup. People have fun with that. And I give it to usually I give it to the usually I show the kids how to work it, and they're blowing up pop cans.
Right on.
Like what was it when we were out celebrating Canada Day? Yeah, there's a good day to shoot guns. Canada Day.
Fuck yeah, man.
You remember that barbecue that we had
Freedom
together?
Freedom Fest, man.
Yeah, Freedom Fest. Oh my God! Like we had it was me, you, Allie. I think that my girlfriend at the time, and we brought out like a flat of.
Yeah, and then there was a lot of the boys from the squadron were there too.
Yeah, like kind of boys brought their SKSs. Is the
Yeah,
SKS banned?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh no! Of all the things they banned, please tell me the high. Oh, actually no, the High Point carbine is probably not banned either,
Oh, dude, they banned 1,500 firearms.
including websites and airsoft.
Yeah, including websites and airsoft.
Okay, cool. Um, but yeah, no, we shook up a couple
And
of
yeah,
pop cans and put them out there for Ali to shoot for 22.
oh yeah, man. Anywho, bro, we've been going at this for about an hour. I'm gonna wrap us up so I don't chew up too much of the memory.
Hey, not a worry.
Hopefully next time we'll get OBS actually working. We can do this a little better.
OBS?
Yeah, it's for actually broadcasting. Just do it live next time, hopefully.
Okay, so people can chime in and chit chat,
Oh yeah,
and we can answer them.
exactly.
They can call us greasy vets and shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, man, like we can go a little more depth next time. Like I know that I think this has been a little bit tough for the last couple of days for the pair of us. So
I mean,
yeah,
I haven't been better health though. I mean, like
that's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Like health wise, I'm doing pretty good.
Right on. All right. So with that, man, I'm just gonna put the recording to an end here. All right.
Take care, guys.